in case you're totally blind to political news, you know that the right wing, the MAGA wing of the Republican Party, in today's day and age, is trying to censor their own past. They're the ones who years ago, the same mindset, the people with the same type of mindset, are the ones years ago that tried to stop black children from going to school with white children, and now they don't want you learning about that history. So now they're trying to censor that history. They are the ones who now tell you that that shit never happened, and if we just tell the teachers not to teach that shit, then it goes away. Well,
my future prediction, which has a 100% chance of being right, is that the people who are very proud of voting for Trump and are very excited about what he's doing right now will be first in line, front and center in 10 years' time at school board meetings trying to ensure that their children never learn about this.
I think he's 100% spot on. I think when we get a few years beyond all of this, and the history books start reflecting on this insanely fascist era of American government, when the history books start talking about people that are in this country legally being swept up off the streets by unmarked plainclothes federal agents, when we see our history books start talking about Donald Trump flying people out of the country against judges' orders to foreign countries to be placed in essentially concentration camps, when the history books start talking about a president that was so corrupt and so dictatorial in his manners that he is defying all of the judiciary to just do whatever the fuck he wants. When the history books start reflecting what's really happening now, when the history books start reflecting what he did in his first term and what he has begun to do in his second term, it's going to be those very people that are like, they're going to be like, can't be teaching that in school. We can't have our kids and grandkids know that we supported an American version of German concentration camps and mass deportations. They'll be so ashamed of what they did, they won't be able to teach it in school. If they were proud of what they did, they would teach it, right? Just like those fucking people now who were alive back then to keep those little girls and those little boys out of those white schools, those black girls and black boys out of those white schools. Now they're all up in arms over the fact that the history books teach their racism, teach their bigotry, teach their hatred, that they got to go in and try and stop those lesson plans and remove those books. If they were so fucking proud of what they did back then, they would stand on that shit and say, yeah, I did that. Me and my friends did that because those kids didn't belong in school with us. Instead, now they're trying to cover their fucking asses all these years later. And that's exactly what these fucking scumbag MAGA motherfuckers are going to do down the road. I know I, for one, am going to teach my children to not let them rewrite history. Every fucking time you see one of these red hat wearing Nazi motherfuckers try to rewrite history 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you have an obligation, my children, to stand up and say, no, that's a lie. Here's what you did.